Yeah, hi, welcome to Voices of Courage. Oh, I'm Anita today. Welcome. And then I have my friend and partner who's actually sitting next to me.
Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, we are
If you speak
having
a bit louder, Lillian.
I'm having a bit of problem with my laptop. So I'm logging in with the mobile phone. So we'll make do with the best that we can.
No problem. And today we are doing episode 54, which is contribution. And before we go on, as you can see, the 5 E's to effective mentoring. So before that, Lillian, can you talk about the Courage Blueprint? Give a little bit of background.
Yeah, I think before that, we want to also introduce our channel. This is Voices of Courage Asia. So, the goal of this channel is to share life experiences, stories of courage, right, and practical tips and strategies to inspire and empower you to live a life of courage and significance. Okay, so together with Anita, my partner in class living, as well as Women of Courage Asia. So both are women empowerment platforms. So we contribute back to the community through a monthly empower meeting, which is happening tonight, right? And also through mentoring, trainings, and of course the strong community support that we are having. Right, we started this Courage to Be You series, this channel on Courage to Be You series based on the Courage Blueprint. Right. Well, Anita will be showing you the Courage Blueprint. It is based on, it is a roadmap, a personal growth roadmap guided by three attributes, addressing 9 domains of your life and cultivating 7 critical core values. So to help you to stay grounded in your identity and purpose in life. All right, so that's an overview of the blueprint and our channel. And today we are going to talk about, we are continuing with what do you call that? Contribution, right? The C, the second C that we are talking about.
Yep.
Mm,
So the topic for today is the 5 E's to effective mentoring. So one way we are talking about contribution is that we are very much aware that class living, we do contribute to Women of Courage Asia. That is our community partner, and how we contribute is that with our leaders we actually do mentoring and coaching, which is our core business here at Class Living. So, Lillian, would you like to share the first E, which is
yeah,
empower?
yes, the 5 E's to effective mentoring, which I've learned it through reading this book by Larry Julian. So this is it is all about coaching and mentoring. And I find that this is so true. You know, when I went on the journey of doing coaching and mentoring, these 5 E's really is very evident in the whole process of mentoring. And before we go into that, right?
Yeah, wanted to say.
Yeah, I just want to highlight about the difference between coaching and mentoring. Sometimes it's being used synonymously, but
Yeah.
actually there is a difference. Yeah. So
Yes.
what is your understanding about the difference between
Okay.
this?
Coaching and mentoring. I think from what I read, thank you to Google. Okay. So the difference between coaching and mentoring is long term. Coaching is short term. Mentoring is more for development. Okay, so it's more for personal development, whereas coaching is more for how do you say,
Specific.
very specific. Yeah, sorry, it's very specific to a certain area. So so one thing very interesting about us here at Class Living and WOCA, Women of Courage Asia, is that the two tends to interlink in the sense that with our community leaders, like we do, there is a bit of coaching, but there's a lot more mentoring because we believe in building the community. So it's definitely a long, how do you say, it's a long term relationship, and it's a personal development, and it's also for key areas we need to learn. So that's very interesting actually. So Lillian, share with me the first E, which is encounter.
Mm,
Discern hidden potential in the hearts of others. So can you
yes, the
explain more
first
what you're trying
E.
to say here?
Like what you mentioned about what we do in class living as well as WOCA, Women of Courage Asia, a lot of coaching and mentoring happening at the same time. So I do notice that during my coaching sessions and throughout the whole mentoring journey, with all of you, um, one area that uh, as a mentor or as a coach, we want to be practicing, intentionally practicing is active listening skill. Because only through active listening uh, are we able to discover or even discern what is the hidden potential in the hearts of all the leaders, the person that we are coaching or the person that we are mentoring, and building that relationship, really getting to know the person. So it's just like how I discover, or like I can see, somehow can see very clearly, what are your strengths and what are your potentials, which when I mentioned to you very initially, you were like, huh. like but look at you now, you're doing all that I envisioned. Actually, I saw that potential in you before you saw it, or
Mm-hmm.
more lack of confidence. Maybe you knew
Yes.
in your heart that you are able to do all this, but probably is a lack of confidence, and maybe through certain
And
negative experiences.
yes, yes,
Mm.
probably. But it's definitely see, to have that encounter, Lillian, actually, it's a skill, right? To be able to discern hidden. So mean it's true that you have to spend time when it comes to mentoring, especially now with our community leaders, Women of Courage Asia. We do provide mentoring and coaching to our leaders, and it's true, by sitting down with them and getting to know and hearing them. Isn't it talk about active listening? When it comes to encounter, you have to have the skill to have active listening, to hear what they say, and to, how do you say, sieve out, to, remember your water spout. I like your water spout. And to capture that. Yeah, can you explain more about that?
More about what, the water spout?
No, no,
About
no,
what?
about active listening, about active listening to
Oh.
bring out the best potential, the hidden potential in the hearts
Mm.
of the mentee or the coachee.
Right. Like I mentioned earlier just now, that if it takes time to really listen, and actually it actually relates to point two also. It's more or less also connected. Okay, there's
Mm,
two points to this. Point number one, there's two sides to it. One is, if we are talking about just the natural, then is really dependent on active listening, being patient
mm,
and active listening, and having the heart to really connect with the person, and so that you can hear what are their concerns, what are the limiting beliefs that is um,
yes.
sabotaging themselves, right? And then the other side of it that I want to just mention a bit is the spiritual side of it. Because
Okay.
okay, I mean, for those of you who know that I'm a Christian, so we pray, so especially if I'm mentoring or coaching and another believer, or even if it's not a non-believer, it doesn't matter. I pray and ask God to help me to discern the potential of this person that I'm coaching or mentoring, so that I'm able to help bring that potential out from this person. Yeah, because God created everyone, right, very uniquely, with different gifts and talents. So every time before I do a coaching session, I pray in my heart that, asking God to help me to discern the potential of each one. So yeah, so there's the natural and there's the spiritual side
Spiritual.
of the encounter for point number one.
So,
Yeah.
so that really relates very well to point number two, to engage with love and truth. See, what I understand from this, I mean, without interaction, because you are my mentor, and working very closely with you at Class Living, and also at Women of Courage Asia, there is a genuineness from you to make sure that you correct me with love, in love, and also in truth. And there are times where uh, the truth does hurt, especially when there's certain limiting beliefs that has to be corrected. And this is something that Class Living, and this is one of our core products, our service, right, is coaching and mentoring to the wider community. And I just want you to explain, how do you go about engaging in love and truth without so the fellow like, oh, heart pain now, or maybe pride, maybe something a lot of pride, right? And they want to like. So how do you go about doing it?
Actually, this is not easy, to engage with love and through. I think truth, it needs a lot of grace. Yeah, especially when if the person, of course, you want to have a relationship, a coaching, between the coachee and the coach, or the mentor and the mentee. You want to have a relationship that's trusting, that is open, and the willingness to be coached, coachable. So, but like you mentioned, the truth does hurt, right? It's painful sometimes. That's why I always use the word constructive feedback. You want to be able to receive constructive feedback, and I always ask permission. I always ask permission first. Whether am I? Do you give me the permission to speak into your life? Because there are certain things, certain blind spots that you're having that I'm seeing, and you may not be aware, because that's why it's called blind spots. So before I share or give any constructive feedback, I always ask for permission. Yeah, and yeah, it takes courage to speak the truth as well, and you want to speak it, package it with love, lah. Everything you want to do, you do it with love, which is love is one of our core values, right? Yeah, in class and in Women of Courage Asia. So, I have mentors and coaches that speak to me, um, in truth, in love and truth as well. And it took a while, initially, for me to be able to receive it, because when we are in the state of a mind that is filled with a lot of limiting beliefs and self-doubt, fear, and all that, right? It does take a while to loosen all these negative thoughts, or to tear down these negative thoughts. But being a coach or a mentor, love and patience is really required to work through that journey, that process, because everybody has their different pace of growth, right? Different stages. At certain time, they may be more resistance, but to love the person enough to give the person space and time to come to that realization by asking powerful questions that get them to think. Yeah. So, yes, asking for permission to speak into their life, to give constructive feedback. Yeah. And to have that patience to give time and space for the person to grow. Yeah.
So talking about give permission. When someone gives you permission, there's definitely a declaration, right? Like, okay,
Mm.
yes, Lillian, I give you permission to speak into my life, which actually brings back. So once you've opened up your heart, it's really humility on the receiver's part, isn't it? To say, okay, I humble myself now to receive constructive feedback, which is actually what happens, brings us to the next point is enlightenment. Enlightened.
Mm.
Suddenly they have their aha moment. Suddenly they
Mm.
have their breakthrough. Some faster than others. So, and then help him or her to find their true calling here on earth, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah. So I love this stage, during the coaching or mentoring process, where the coachee gets the aha moment. It is really very exciting. It's like I don't know how to describe that, but it really, um, I get very excited when the person gets it. Yeah. So, but of course, a lot of talking, a lot of question. You have to ask the hard questions, the tough questions, and waiting for patiently. I mean, be patient enough to allow the coachee or the mentee to come to her own realization. Because the thing I realize about coaches, or even mentors sometimes is we may get impatient and want to tell the coachee, because when you see it and they still don't see it, it's very tempting to tell them, but I have to stop myself from telling them, but to keep on asking questions to help them to get their own aha moments, because that will really stay, and that's where they, because the answer is within them actually. It's just drawing out from them by asking questions. Yeah.
And then it's exactly what Brenda is saying. Good afternoon. Yes,
Mm.
truth can hurt, but with love can save one's life without our realization. And
Yep.
speaking of realization and love and hurt, um, I
Mm.
know I'm jumping the gun here, but you have to join us today for Women of Courage Asia, our monthly empowerment meeting, because this darling Brenda here is going to share a lot of truth and a lot of aha moments that coaches and mentors have, spoke into her life, and you don't want to miss her story. Trust me, you see that pretty face here under the nice chandelier? That's all I can say. I know I'm
Right.
sabotaging Brenda. But bring us to the next point. Remember you're saying that when they have their aha moment, that's exciting, right? But once they get
Mm.
the aha moment, I do not know about a lot of people, but sometimes for me, even though I get my aha moment, at that time it's all exciting, lah. It's all very nice. But once the aha moment, once I turn around and I go home, the excitement dies down,
Mm.
right? It dies down, and sometimes, because we're human, we have negative beliefs, we have doubts, we have, our old demons may surface, or other demons may surface, and then again another hurdle. Which brings me to the next point: is as a mentor or as a coach, you encourage, right? You
Mm.
encourage, and that encouragement comes, I'm sure, is paired with love and truth. That's why you believe in them when they don't believe in themselves. I
Mm.
can let me go on to share an example here before you give your definitions and all. Uh, working with uh, working with you and Brenda, uh, as little as last week, right? Um, there was a situation where I had to be corrected, because when words are said, even though you may not mean it, but there is an emotion attached to it. And the words I said, even though my intention was right, intention was sincere, but the words was not um, edifying, and I had to be corrected. And what I realized, even though at that moment I was corrected, but was followed up by both you and Brenda to encourage and go, hey, we still see a lot of potential in you, uh, and we can see you growing very fast, and we still believe in you and all that. So I find that the teachable moment was not so painful. The medicine was not so bitter, because after they give me a spoonful of sugar, so it's quite nice, lah.
Honey,
So it's
honey, honey. Don't take sugar. Honey
honey,
better.
raw honey. Okay, but can you explain more about? I know, Lilian. Sometimes for you, because maybe it's your character or your experience being a coach and a mentor, encouragement and the heart and sincerity comes very natural. You know, I want to talk about encouraging people who are difficult to encourage and maybe difficult to show love. How do you go about doing it?
The most difficult person to encourage is myself, actually. Yeah, because I have a lot of inner critics as well. Uh, so every one of us, I think what I learned, that's why the first thing, the lesson I learned is being able to encourage myself. If I'm able to encourage myself, then I'm able to encourage others. Because there is a belief there that I meant what I said, you know. um, and the words, the encouragement, the words that go out is really with conviction. Yeah, the word is conviction, because I can't encourage another person with the words that I myself don't believe in. Yeah. So I think
Okay. Hi, I'm back on. Lillian will be joining us soon. She's just next to me. Hi, Lillian.
Okay.
Let's join hands together and let's chit chat.
Maybe you can pick up the
Yeah, I will. There's no speaker actually, but never mind. Okay. This is what happens, right, when you do a startup, but you love what you do. And this is a
Nice.
perfect example of loving what we do and still going online. Doesn't matter.
I think we need to come closer so
Yeah.
that the
So it
volume.
yeah.
Okay, I think this is what happens when we want to work together outside and not at the comfort of our home.
Yeah.
Okay, so where was I?
You were talking about
Yeah, conviction.
convictions. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Encouragement.
yeah, to believe in whatever I say. Yeah, in the words before I actually share it with another person. If I don't believe it
Mm.
myself,
Yeah.
then whatever I say is actually fluff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's if I can't believe it and say it, it's like that's not truth in the first place, really, right? Because just now we talked about truth, right? Yeah.
But I also want to ask you, Leland, is the fact that what's different with you as a coach and mentor is that um, it's not so much about. I know you have paid tons of money to have coaches in your life.
Husband, how much did she make?
How much did you pay? Okay, and the difference about you is that what I can say now is that it's not the dollar sign with you. I can see how you coach our community leaders and how we have spoken about how different community leaders have grown. I want a special mention actually. I don't know at the top of my head. Like
You have grown so much.
no, one person we have to mention is also Teresa.
Oh yes,
Yes.
Teresa.
So Teresa is one of those who she was doing all number one to number three. She gave permission. She was ready
She's
to
very
learn.
coachable.
She's very coachable, and she's not only very coachable. She understands the need. She understands the need. She understands the importance, and she wants to step out of those of that vicious cycle that she continue having. Really, when you get her eyes Milo. Okay, so there's one person. The importance of having a coach and mentor in your life, and I also want to encourage people to find the right coach and the right mentor. I mean, anybody, there's a lot. You throw a rock, you hit one coach, you hit one mentor. And it's finding the right coach. I remember sharing this conversation with another girlfriend. It's like, yeah, people pay, but do you have the right person that will do number one to number five? Which brings us to the last point. Number five is enjoy it, experience the joy of seeing others grow. And this one thing I can tell about Lillian. Okay, you can see her right. So, hey, not so. Wow, so good. You saw her doing this, not so. Okay. So share with me the joy. Why? I mean, why bother, Lillian? I want to ask you very sincerely. Why bother enjoying the process with them? Why? Why is number 5 important?
Because I guess maybe or most likely, I believe is the freedom that I gain for myself when I grow, when I'm being set free from all my limiting beliefs and all that. Because I was imprisoned in and very stuck in this self-doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs, right? I knew how miserable, how frustrating, how angry, that all the negative feelings that goes with it was like. And I went through that breakthrough, and that joy that I gained, that I experienced, it's like it's freedom, you see.
Okay.
And so when I see any of my coachee or mentee had those aha moments and those breakthrough, immediately that association of that joy just comes back. Yeah, just comes back. So yeah, I don't know how to explain this, but it's just a joy. It's a joy to see people grow and being set free from all those limiting beliefs. Yeah.
And that's the difference. As I was saying about having a coach that will have joy, sincere joy when you succeed, and that's important, And speaking of importance, tonight,
Very important.
very important. Your first step, honestly, for women out there, your first step is to click on this link and come and experience our very first mentally empowerment meeting, where Lily will talk about
The unconscious cycle.
So, yeah.
Breaking that self-sabotaging pattern.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you're going to have a live coaching session, an example of a live coaching session, where you're going to write down, a lot of things, and to get yourself kickstart 2021. You're only in week 4, so it's not too late. Let's not wait till month 12. Okay, so it's only week 4, month 1. So let's get it right. And again, if you still have limiting beliefs and you still have doubts and you need clarity, and you feel that you're feeling stuck, book next week. And I didn't realize between the words, the difference. Choose. There's a difference, huh? I have to make $15,000. I choose to make. And this one, Lilian, share your baby.
Oh,
Lilian
yes.
is giving birth.
Yeah. Yeah, we are pregnant with this transform.
Yeah, we're
with
all
Courage
pregnant.
Bootcamp.
There are
Yes.
11 of us highly pregnant.
Yes, we're pregnant with this transform with Courage Bootcamp and can't wait to give birth to it.
Yes.
In April. And
We're having a lot of contraction.
What an illustration.
Yeah, we are. We're working so hard. We're working so hard. Not. It is again. I know how many times have you heard me say this. It is not about the again back to this coaching and mentoring thing. It's not. It's for a very small price to pay for big difference. I mean, some people can go around 60 years and turn around and say, "I didn't change. I wish I had to." So this one experience you can have where you can stop saying that I wish I had done this. I wish I had done that.
Yeah.
So
just click on the link, transliving.com .sg / transform with courage bootcamp 2021.
Yep.
The details are there. We put a lot of thoughts and putting together different trainers, to come together to package this bootcamp, especially for women. Yeah, and by women.
Yep.
And 3 full immersion.
Yep.
At Furama Riverfront Hotel.
Yep. All meals
yeah.
provided. You don't even have to think.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But why it is important is that it is. I've got no other words to say why it's important. And when you have good news, right, you just want to share with people. Correct? Yeah. So on that note, join us tonight. Okay, for monthly empowerment meeting. Here, Brenda, you must come in here, Brenda, and get coaching for this one. And back to the
and our team as well, not just me.
Yeah, it's the whole
our
team. And then you will get a glimpse back to this one because the people who are going to do the breakout room tonight, they will be the one doing the post bootcamp coaching. You get a post bootcamp support 3 months.
Yes,
Okay?
3 months. So
3
it's not
months.
just 3 days. The bootcamp is not 3 days, but it's actually 3 days plus 3 months.
So it's 93 days. Total is 93 days for a small price. I remember one leader calculated it costs only a Starbucks a day, and you can see I'm promoting Starbucks at the back.
And I have Starbucks.
Okay,
If you can spend a cup of Starbucks every day, you can definitely
Yeah,
invest in
and-
yourself for this
yeah.
bootcamp, right?
Yes.
You're way more than a Starbucks.
Yeah, your life is worth much more. Don't wait too late. And join us every Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, and I promise you next coming Thursday we'll be at home. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about the technical. yeah.
Hopefully, Lila, my phone is so hot. But anyway, last one. And it says see you tonight at 6:30.
See you tonight at
Yay,
6:30.
bye.
See you.
See you tonight. Bye. Bye. Bye.